have to.
I have to. Okay, you can get the first car we ever had for the band was a blue Volvo wagon, real rock and roll stuff, 4 cylinders. Oh yeah, couldn't even get up a hill. It was fucking ridiculous, but it never broke down like the other ones did. We had this shit Mitsubishi van, and this thing used to break down all the time. Fan belts flying off out the fucking thing. Remember when the fucking drive shaft or something went through the engine and always came into the passenger seat?
Yeah.
But the Volvo, it never broke down. Real Swedish, Nordic little flag on it and stuff. And it used to fit the gear, like you could fit 2 Marshall cabs in like that, and you could fit the heads in here, the guitars. It was almost like built for the perfect band beginning backline. And so we had the Volvo, and we used to like pack each other in, like, so there'd be a guy in the driver's seat, and his job was basically everyone else gets in the car. Then he goes around and starts putting drums on top of people and guitars, and everyone's just in there like this with all this shit in the car. And then the driver gets in with like a mic stand jabbing him in the head going, oh, let's go to Melbourne, 3 hours. 60 k's an hour. Yeah. It's going to take a little while, and then like you stop. So I go, I need to take a piss. I need to take a shit. Fuck, alright, unpack the whole thing, everybody get out, and then get back in, and then it was a nightmare. But so that was the first car. Then the next car was a Holden Commodore, and that was a good car too. Touring in Australia, it's just really just long drives, and usually long drives to a pub in the middle of nowhere with sort of 15 people that really don't give a 2 shits about you or your band or anything. They just kind of want to have a beer and watch the footy or the races, and unfortunately you're going to ruin their day by all your Marshall stacks being cranked to 11 and then screaming at them for an hour. So you have to find a way to win them over, because they really do look at you like...
Yeah, well, we used to do gigs that was just, there'd be the horse races on, and they're all just standing there watching the horse races.
Some people like eating their tea and that.
Yeah, they're eating their tea, and they're just looking at us just like, what are you doing?
Why have you got long hair? Why have you got all these abs? You're not going to turn that on, are you? You're fucking kidding. Oh God. And and then you'd have to, that's the crowd you're entertaining. They hate you before you've even come in the door.
Yeah.
And then, but that's how you build up a life following, because then, you win them over, and sometimes, some younger kids, and they'll come down, and then they'll tell their friends the next time you come back, and then they'll be like, yeah, there's these mad fucks that came to town and tore the joint up, and they're coming back, and then they would, eventually you would form a live following, but that takes a lot of hard work. And that's what Aussie bands just do, like from Midnight Oil to In Excess. Like, they were a pub band. In Excess were a pub band for quite a long time. I know in England, the big Wembley 80,000 show, the DVD where you see them, but they were a pub band for ages, just cutting their craft out on the road. And AC/DC, Rose Tattoo, all those bands, they do it. That's how they did it, and that's kind of how you do it in Australia. I think Midnight Oil, and I think also Dave Grohl even said, if you can win an Australian crowd over, they're the toughest in the world, you're doing well. So it really does teach you and learn you for when you're going to come over here. Like, we would drive, to get from Melbourne to Sydney, it's literally like a 12-hour drive, and if you're in a shitty van, it's probably more like a 16-hour drive, and that's for one show, and you drive the next one, There's sort of
not... Campbell's Chunky Chunks.
Campbell's. Do you have Campbell's here? It's like, it's a stew, and it's just
basically just salt and meat in a can.
Yeah, and you're meant to heat it up, but
dog food.
So one way to do that is if you want to eat it cold, you can, or you can just open up the bonnet of the car and sit it on the engine for the next 200 k's, and then everyone pull their cans out and crack them open and have hot stew on the side of the road with nothing else around other than trucks, road trains screaming past, and probably an old kangaroo looking at you kind of weird as to why you're eating his brother in the can.